Why do most traders lose money, even though they have access to the same charts, the same news, and the same strategies as the winners? Is it really the system that makes someone profitable, or is it something deeper, something hidden in the way we think, feel, and act? The truth is, trading is not a battle against the market. It is a battle against your own mind. The market does not know who you are. It does not care about your hopes, your fears, or your financial goals. The market simply moves, up, down, sideways, without emotion, without bias. And yet, inside every trader, there is a storm of fear when money is on the line, a storm of greed when the candles rise, a storm of regret when losses cut deeper than expected. This storm is what separates the 95% who fail from the rare 5% who succeed. If you've ever clicked buy too quickly, if you've ever held onto a losing trade just hoping it would turn around, if you've ever doubled down in anger after a loss, only to lose more, you've experienced firsthand the enemy of all traders, uncontrolled psychology. But here's the good news, just like any skill, trading psychology can be trained. You can learn to master your emotions. You can learn to see the market with calm, rational eyes. You can learn to build the discipline, patience, and resilience that the great traders live by. This journey is not easy. It demands brutal honesty. It demands that you look at yourself in the mirror, strip away illusions, and confront the emotional habits that have held you back. But if you are willing to do that, if you are willing to rewire your mind as well as your strategy, then you can join the few who thrive in this game. Trading psychology is not just about charts and candles. It is about self-mastery. And this audiobook is your guide. So, are you ready to master yourself before you try to master the market? Let's begin. Trading is often portrayed as a glamorous pursuit. The flashing screens, the wild price swings, the promise of turning small amounts of money into fortunes overnight. Social media is filled with stories of traders who claim to have made millions, living a life of freedom and luxury. But behind the glossy images lies a sobering reality. The majority of traders fail. Not because they didn't have access to the right indicators. Not because they didn't study enough chart patterns. Not because the market is rigged against them. They fail because they never learned to master themselves. Think about it. In trading, the raw mechanics are not difficult. Anyone can learn how to draw support and resistance lines. Anyone can memorize what a moving average is. Anyone can read about candlestick patterns and chart formations. And yet, despite this widespread access to knowledge, most traders still lose money. Why? Because when real money is at stake, logic often disappears. A trader who swore they would stick to their plan suddenly abandons it after 2 losing trades. A trader who set a stop loss suddenly removes it when price comes too close. A trader who promised to risk only 1% of their capital suddenly bets 10% in the heat of the moment. These are not failures of knowledge. These are failures of psychology. Let's define it clearly. Trading psychology is the study and practice of managing your emotions, mindset, and behaviors in the context of trading financial markets. It is about cultivating patience when your instincts scream for action. It is about embracing discipline when your ego tempts you into risk. It is about detaching from the outcome of any single trade and focusing instead on the long game. Great traders know that the market is uncertain. They accept that they will have losing trades. They accept that they cannot control the future. What they can control, the only thing they can ever control, is themselves. This is why trading psychology matters more than any system. A mediocre strategy with excellent discipline will outperform the best strategy in the hands of an undisciplined trader. Imagine 2 traders. Trader A has a perfect system, one that works 70% of the time. But when he loses 3 trades in a row, he panics, increases his position size, and throws his plan out the window. Within weeks, his account is blown. Trader B has a simple system, one that wins only 50% of the time. But she follows her rules religiously. She never risks more than 1% per trade. She journals every decision. She keeps her emotions in check. Over time, her account grows consistently. Who is the better trader? The one with discipline. This book is about becoming Trader B, steady, resilient, and patient. We'll dive deep into the psychology of trading, the role of fear and greed, the tricks our brain plays on us, the biases that cloud our judgment. We'll explore how to develop habits that strengthen discipline, how to build routines that reduce mistakes, and how to reframe losses so they don't destroy your confidence. We'll also tell stories, because trading psychology is not just theory. It's lived experience. Every great trader, from Jesse Livermore to Paul Tudor Jones, from George Soros to modern-day prop traders, has faced the same psychological battles you are facing now. Some won, some lost. Their stories hold lessons you can carry into your own journey. But let me be clear, mastering trading psychology does not mean you will never feel fear or greed again. It does not mean you will trade like a robot without emotion. It means you will learn how to recognize those emotions, how to manage them, and how to make decisions in spite of them. It means building a mindset that is strong enough to withstand the ups and downs of the market. It means cultivating patience, resilience, and focus in a world that constantly tempts you with impulsive action. And the payoff: when you master yourself, trading becomes easier. Your system becomes easier to follow. Your risk management becomes second nature. Your equity curve begins to stabilize. And most importantly, you begin to trade with clarity and peace of mind. So here is my promise to you: by the end of this audiobook, you will not just understand trading psychology, you will have a blueprint for mastering it. We will journey together through the storms of fear and greed, through the traps of overconfidence and revenge trading, through the lessons of history's greatest traders. And we will emerge with tools, techniques, and a mindset that can carry you closer to consistency and eventually success. Trading is not a sprint. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a marathon of patience and discipline. If you are ready for that marathon, if you are ready to face yourself as well as the market, then let's continue. Because the greatest edge you can ever have in trading is not a new indicator, not a secret strategy, not an insider tip. It is your psychology, the foundation of a trader's mindset. If you ask a beginner trader what they want, the answer is simple: I want to make money. But if you ask a professional trader what they want, the answer sounds very different: I want to execute my edge consistently. I want to follow my process without deviation. I want to protect my capital. This difference may sound small, but it is the defining line between amateurs and professionals. The beginner is focused on outcome. The professional is focused on process. The truth is, traders cannot control outcomes. You cannot control whether the next trade wins or loses. The market is far too random and complex for that. What you can control is how you prepare, how you execute, and how you respond. This is why the mindset of a trader begins with one core principle: right finger detach yourself from outcomes. Attach yourself to process. When you stop obsessing over whether the next trade is a winner, and instead focus on following your rules, you begin to trade with freedom. Losses no longer feel like personal attacks. Wins no longer inflate your ego. Every trade becomes just one step in a much larger journey. This is not easy, of course. Human beings are wired to crave certainty and reward. But trading demands that you embrace uncertainty and delay gratification. Discipline over emotion. Think about a soldier in the middle of battle. Bullets fly, chaos surrounds him, but he still follows his training. He doesn't panic. He doesn't throw away his weapon and run. He falls back on discipline. Trading is no different. Every trade is a battle between discipline and emotion. Fear tells you, don't take this trade, what if you lose? Greed whispers, double your size, this one is guaranteed. Impatience shouts, enter now, you might miss the move. And yet, the disciplined trader listens only to their plan. Discipline is not about being perfect. You will make mistakes. You will feel emotions. But discipline means you act according to rules you set beforehand, not emotions you feel in the moment. Practical ways to build discipline: trading plan, write down your entry, exit, risk rules in detail. Never trade outside them. Checklist: before placing a trade, tick off every rule. No shortcuts. Accountability: journal your trades. Review mistakes honestly. Discipline turns trading from gambling into a business. Without it, you're just throwing dice. Hourglass patience, the hidden superpower. Markets move every second. Price jumps up and down like a restless heartbeat. The temptation to act is constant. And yet, the best traders are often the ones who do nothing most of the time. Patience is the ability to wait for your setup, not just any setup, but the right setup. Patience is refusing to trade out of boredom. Patience is sitting on your hands when conditions aren't clear. One of the hardest lessons new traders must learn is that doing nothing is a valid decision. In fact, sometimes it's the best decision. As Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest traders in history, once said, after spending many years in Wall Street, I want to tell you this: it was never my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting. Patience allows you to wait for high probability moments, instead of chasing every flicker of movement. Resilience, bouncing back from losses. Losses are inevitable. Every trader faces them. But what separates professionals from amateurs is how they respond. The amateur sees a loss as proof they were wrong, as a wound to their ego. They spiral into frustration, revenge trading, and self-doubt. The professional sees a loss as data. Just one outcome in a sea of probabilities. Nothing more, nothing less. Resilience is the ability to take a loss, analyze it, and return the next day with the same calm mindset. Ask yourself, did I follow my plan? Was my risk controlled? Was the loss within expectations? If yes, then there is nothing to regret. Losses are simply the cost of doing business. Resilience is built by separating your identity from your trades. You are not your last trade. A losing trade does not make you a loser. A winning trade does not make you a genius. You are simply executing a process over time. Brain the growth mindset in trading. The fixed mindset says, I lost because I'm not good enough. Maybe I'll never be a successful trader. The growth mindset says, I lost because I made a mistake, or because variance struck. Either way, I can learn from this and improve. A growth mindset is essential in trading because no one starts out perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, everyone blows accounts, everyone faces drawdowns, but only those who treat those moments as lessons eventually grow into consistent profitability. Practical ways to build a growth mindset: reframe mistakes. Instead of, I failed, say, I learned. Celebrate small wins. Even following your plan, regardless of result, is a win. Seek feedback from mentors, journals, even your own trade history. Trading is not about being right every time. It is about becoming better every day. Open book storytelling, the tale of two traders. Let me share a story. There were once two traders, Alex and Maya. Alex was obsessed with winning. Every trade, he wanted to be right. He jumped in at random moments, doubled his size when he felt confident, and panicked whenever the market moved against him. After 3 wins, he felt unstoppable. After 3 losses, he felt worthless. His account swung wildly until eventually, it was gone. Maya, on the other hand, was obsessed with process. She built a simple strategy and promised to follow it with discipline. She never risked more than 1%. She didn't care if she was wrong 5 times in a row, as long as she followed her plan. Over time, her account grew steadily. What was the difference? Not intelligence, not strategy, not luck. The difference was mindset. Alex's mindset was tied to ego. Maya's mindset was tied to process. And in trading, process always wins. Trophy the trader's creed. To close this section, here is a creed to live by. Repeat it until it becomes your truth. I do not control the market. I control myself. I do not chase profits. I follow process. I do not fear losses. I respect them as part of the game. I am patient, disciplined, and resilient. I am a trader, and my edge is my mindset. The emotional battlefield. Every time you open a trading platform, you step into an invisible battlefield. Not the battlefield of price against price, buyers against sellers, but the battlefield inside your own mind. On one side are your rational thoughts, your plan, your analysis, your rules. On the other side are your emotions: fear, greed, doubt, impatience, anger. If your emotions win, your account bleeds. If your discipline wins, your account grows. The 4 most dangerous enemies of traders are fear, greed, FOMO, and revenge trading. These are the forces that destroy accounts faster than any bad strategy ever could. Fearful fear, the invisible prison. Fear is the first and most common emotion in trading. Fear of losing, fear of missing out, fear of being wrong. Fear paralyzes traders. You see a perfect setup, but fear whispers, what if it fails? You set a stop loss, but fear makes you move it further away. You cut winners too quickly, fearing they might reverse. Fear is powerful because it's tied to survival. To your brain, losing money feels like a threat to life itself. Your heart races, palms sweat, thoughts cloud. You become reactive instead of strategic. Story of fear. A trader named Raj once told himself he'd never risk more than 2% per trade. But one day, he saw the market moving fast. He entered late. Within seconds, the trade went against him. Fear gripped him. Instead of taking the small loss, he froze. His stop loss hit, but by then, the loss was 10% of his account. Raj learned a painful truth: fear doesn't protect you. It magnifies losses. Overcoming fear: pre-plan risk, decide your stop loss before entry, and never move it further away. Trade small. Fear grows when the risk feels too big. Lower your lot size until losses don't scare you. Focus on execution, not outcome. Your job is not to win every trade. Your job is to follow your edge. Money bag greed, the silent killer. If fear is the brake, greed is the accelerator. Greed is the desire for more, even when enough is enough. Greed whispers, double your size. This one looks like a sure thing. Don't take profits now, it will keep running. Forget your rules, just one more trade. Greed seduces traders into over-leveraging, over-trading, and chasing unrealistic returns. Story of greed. Emma had a winning streak, 5 profitable trades in a row. She felt unstoppable. On her 6th trade, she risked 5 times her normal amount. I can't lose, she thought. But the market humbled her. That single loss wiped out all her gains, and more. Emma's downfall wasn't a bad strategy. It was greed. Overcoming greed: set daily, weekly goals, stop trading after reaching them. Journal wins: celebrate discipline, not money. Remember, the market is endless, there will always be another trade. No need to risk it all today. Rocket FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO is the itch to act when you see price moving without you. You watch a candle surge and think, I'm missing the move. You chase entries late, entering at the worst price. You abandon your rules just to be in the market. FOMO is fueled by social media and trading communities. You see others posting wins, and you feel left behind. But chasing trades almost always ends in regret. Story of FOMO. Carlos once missed a breakout trade. He watched in frustration as price soared. Determined not to miss the next move, he jumped into the very next setup early, before his signal confirmed. That trade reversed instantly and hit his stop. Carlos learned that chasing is always more costly than waiting. Overcoming FOMO, reframe missed trades. Missing is not losing. There will be thousands more opportunities. Trust your strategy. Your edge doesn't require catching every move. Detach from others. Focus on your journey, not Instagram screenshots of profits. Revenge trading, the trader's trap. Perhaps the most destructive of all emotions is revenge trading. Revenge trading happens when you take a loss and immediately try to get it back. Instead of following logic, you trade emotionally, forcing entries, increasing size, breaking rules. Revenge trading is like pouring gasoline on fire. One small loss can turn into a catastrophic account blowout. Story of revenge trading. David lost $200 on a trade. Furious, he doubled his lot size on the next one to recover. He lost again. Now he was down $600. Anger consumed him. He opened 3 trades at once, ignoring risk. By the end of the day, his account was gone. David didn't lose because of the market. He lost because he let anger drive his decisions. Overcoming revenge trading. Step away. After a loss, take a break. Breathe. Reset. Set loss limits. Stop trading after hitting a daily max drawdown. Reframe losses. They are tuition fees for learning, not personal attacks. Compass the emotional compass. Fear, greed, FOMO, revenge. These emotions will always exist. You cannot eliminate them, but you can learn to recognize them, manage them, and refuse to let them control your actions. Practical tools, meditation, visualization, train calm focus before trading. Trading journal, document emotional states alongside trades. Rituals, a pre-trade routine to ground yourself. Remember, your emotions are not the enemy. They are signals. Fear warns of risk. Greed shows desire. FOMO highlights impatience. Anger reveals attachment. Use them as feedback, but never let them take the wheel. In trading, the market is not your opponent. Your opponent is fear when charts move against you. Your opponent is greed when profits blind you. Your opponent is FOMO when others post wins. Your opponent is revenge when losses sting your ego. The battlefield is within, and the only way to win is to master yourself.